Welcome to the number 19 edition of WWMS. We hope you guys enjoyed some of our more recent shows. We're back here on WWMS on a lovely Friday afternoon. We have many things to break down on this week's show. With the Yankees eliminated from postseason contention, you'll hear Yankees PA announcer and former Super Bowl announcer Paul Olden share his thoughts on broadcasting and what the Yankees could do to try to bounce back to the postseason in 2024.
What's up, dudes? This past Saturday, September 23rd, 2023, the Northern Hemisphere experienced the fall equinox. On this day, the sun crossed our celestial equator, creating the official start of autumn. On this day, the sun is up for the same amount of time that it is down, thus the name equinox. Ironically, on the same day, the Southern Hemisphere experiences the vernal or spring equinox, where the spring officially begins in the Southern Hemisphere. This difference in seasons from the northern to southern hemispheres is because the Earth's axis is tilted to about 23.5 degrees, which means that the northern hemisphere is closest to the sun and its rays on and around June 21st, which is the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere, or summer solstice, also in the northern hemisphere. So, on that note, happy fall! Also, to anyone who is interested, I'm planning to speak to our Dean of Students, Mr. Mark Robinson, soon in the coming episodes of WWMS. So, if anybody would like to send in any questions to be considered to be part of the interview, please click on the form in the description or on the morning announcement side. And that's all I got for you tonight. Peace.
You can find the Geopolitical on Apple, Spotify, Google, or wherever you listen to podcasts. But now let's go to Noah, who's going to share some news about FIFA Now FC 24, which comes out later today.
Now for our gamers out there, I'm going to be reporting the gaming news today instead of Chase. Why? Because I can, and today we're talking about FC 24, the new soccer game from EA, which comes out today. FC 24 is basically FIFA 24, but with a different name because FIFA and EA's contract expired in May of 2022, forcing EA to look for someone else to partner up with for the amazing new game. EA has decided to work with Frostbite Engine to make the game a reality. The cover for the new work of art is none other than Erling Haaland himself. The Norwegian lad won his and his team, Manchester City, their first ever Champions League win. Throughout the tournament, Haaland alone scored 35 goals in total, rewriting the record books in the process.
In other gaming news, Roblox is soon going to roll out an update where you can't wear off-sale avatar accessories in games made for purchasing accessories, such as Catalog Avatar Creator. This update received tons of backlash from the official Roblox community, enticing Roblox to postpone the update from September 27th to October 1st. The movie we will be covering today, on the other hand, is My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. The third movie in the classic series is coming 7 years after its second installment, which came out 14 years after the first. My Big Fat Greek Wedding is a Greek romance comedy series that has generally received nice reviews from the public. Despite this, however, the third installment is only rated 2.1 stars in its first 3 weeks in theaters. As someone who saw the movie but didn't have the patience to see the end, I wouldn't exactly recommend it, but if you do like comedies, it is worth seeing. So, here on WWMS for the number 19 episode, we were going to do some editing today. But then one of the biggest things in the NBA so far this offseason happened. Damian Lillard. It's that time, folks. Damian Lillard was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks like an hour before we're recording this. He's traded to Milwaukee. Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, a role player, and multiple first-round picks going to the Trailblazers. The Phoenix Suns as well get Yusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nazir Little, and Keon Johnson, a trade that is going to shake up the NBA for years to come. Dame is finally leaving Portland and is going to Milwaukee. Damian Lillard was one of the best players in the NBA last season. He was top 5 in the league in scoring, averaging over 30 points a game, and had a game where he scored 70 points. Damian Lillard is headed to Milwaukee, and the Bucks sure should be the favorites for the 2024 NBA Championship. It has recently been reported by multiple large sources that the Grammy Award-winning singer Usher is going to be performing at the Super Bowl halftime show for the second time after he previously performed alongside Black Eyed Peas and Slash back in 2011. The artist has won 8 Grammys within the frame of 2002 to 2013. He also won 8 American Music Awards. I can't wait to see that in Vegas this coming February. This is the first match day of the 2023-24 Champions League, where 32 teams are divided into 8 different groups. Some of the groups with major teams are Group F and Group A. I know, folks, very creative names. Group F is the group of death, or in other words, has 4 major teams such as PSG, BVB Dortmund, Newcastle United, and AC Milan. In Group A, we have Bayern Munich, Manchester United, Copenhagen, and Galatasaray. And also, in order to qualify for the Champions League, you must finish in the top 2 places in your league. If you get 5th place or win a cup in your league, you will participate in the Europa League. In order to get into the round of 16, the elimination round, you must qualify in the top 2 places of your group. In sports news, the New York Yankees have officially been eliminated from postseason contention for the first time since 2016. A lot of this has had to do with underperforming hitting, but a lot of it has also had to do with injuries. Aaron Judge has missed time with several injuries. Same goes for Giancarlo Stanton, Carlos Rodon, and Nestor Cortes, but guys like Rodon and Cortes have also fallen off from their 2022 selves. I recently spoke with longtime Yankees PA announcer Paul Olden about his career in broadcasting and his thoughts on the Yankees. So with no postseason appearance in the Bronx, here is Paul's thoughts on the Yankees' young players and what the future of Yankees baseball could look like, as well as some things he mentioned in regards to sports broadcasting.
Yeah, it's definitely not always the case. But, you know, now you are the PA announcer for the Yankees, and we'll kind of transition over now to the Yankees. And many great announcers have held that role before you, including the legendary announcer Bob Shepard, who held the job for over 55 years. How does it feel to kind of be in the same shoes as Shepard, and even though you weren't directly after him, technically like replace his role as the Yankees public address announcer?
Yeah, I always say I followed Bob Shepard as opposed to replace him. I think that sounds better because there's no replacing a guy who worked until he was, I believe, his last year. He was 96 years old and did 57 years of the PA for the Yankees.
Paul announced several Super Bowls in the 1990s and 2000s. And yes, every sports game is important, but obviously the Super Bowl is one of the bigger games of the entire season. So what would you say is the biggest difference between commentating the Super Bowl and just commentating a regular game?
Just more pressure, that's for sure. But generally, it's you don't try to separate it that much from a regular season game because it's still the basic nuts and bolts what you have to do to provide the in-stadium audience with basic information.
What would you say the Yankees need to do in the offseason to get back to being the championship contender that they were?
Well, they need to get healthy. I mean, Anthony Rizzo felt every night. That's a big loss. But I think in general, they have to maybe get a little younger and a little speedier. But they have some players who are getting a chance to play now. Emerson Pereira is one of them, who they feel will be the future of the team. Maybe Jason Dominguez, who we saw quite a bit in spring training. I saw a lot. I do the spring training games because I live in Florida during the off season. So Jason Dominguez played quite a bit in spring training and put on a show. He can really hit the ball far.
Full interview on the Cool Sports Network, which you can find on Apple, Spotify, Google, or wherever you listen to podcasts. We hope you guys enjoyed the 19th ever edition of WWMS. We appreciate all the support we have recently been given, and if you have any tips or pieces of advice, please let us know. Shout out to YouTube channels The Connor Show, Mr. TC, Mr. Latte, and Sports for Kids. Thanks so much to an incredible behind-the-scenes crew, alongside Arav Kapoor and Noah Weiner. Signing off from Pepperwoods Middle School, I am Chase Coburn, and we'll see you next Friday.